leverage at all left? I noticed the administration is threatening today that in 12 days we're going to do something with sanctions, then secondary sanctions against China and India if they buy Russian oil. I mean, is that any of that meaningful?
I don't think the threat of secondary sanctions is meaningful. I mean, the economic consequences for the world and for the United States would be disastrous if they actually were put into effect and worked. I think the Chinese and Indians would just blow them off at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they'll work. We have no cards to play. If we had cards to play, Biden would have played those cards. I mean, one fundamental difference between Biden and Trump is that Biden was fully committed to the war and wanted to do everything he could to make sure the United States stayed in the game and continued to support Ukraine no matter what. Trump definitely wanted to end the war. He's been unsuccessful. He really doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to end the war, but he does want to end it. And the question you really have to ask yourself is, what is he going to put into the pipeline, the Biden pipeline, once the weaponry dries up? And I don't think that Trump is going to end up giving the Ukrainians a lot more weaponry. So I think he's going to basically allow the Ukrainians to be defeated on the battlefield. This is going to be a huge problem for Trump because he's going to be blamed for losing Ukraine. Well, what's going to happen in Ukraine at some point is the Russians are going to win, and Trump is going to get blamed for that.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons that Trump is so hesitant on Ukraine is not simply because he's surrounded by advisors who are super hawks on Ukraine and want to hang on to the bitter end. It's also because Trump understands that when Ukraine loses, it will be seen as having happened on his watch.
No question.
Yeah, no question. And he doesn't want that to happen. This is why Trump was deeply committed to negotiating a settlement.
Why didn't that work?
It didn't work because Trump would have to accept Russia's three key demands that I spelled out to you at the start of the show. And those three key demands are unacceptable to almost every person in the American foreign policy establishment and almost every foreign policy elite in Europe.